Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Smyrna Beer Board meeting. Today is March the 4th, 2019. I would like to call this meeting to order. First thing I'd like everyone to do is please stand and recite the pledge with me. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do we have any citizens' comments tonight? Board had a chance to review the minutes and agenda. Anything need to be changed?
No, looked good.
Make a motion, we approve as is.
A second?
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any old business? Moving on to new business. The first application tonight is the Smyrna Rutherford County Airport Authority. Is there anyone here to represent? All right. If you'd stand at the podium, please. We're going to recess for a public hearing. If you could state your name for the record, sir.
John Black.
John Black. And this is for the air show.
That's correct. June 8th and 9th.
So great.
Has anything changed in the procedure for the selling of alcohol at the air show?
No, same procedure that we've been doing for several
And
years.
I believe we haven't had a problem in years past with
No.
anything.
Same vendor?
Same vendor. Yep.
Okay. Refresh my memory that you guys actually have staff. It's designated only a certain area there on the property. Is that correct?
That's correct. Kind of we have kind of the flight line
Okay.
and interdispersed throughout the flight line are 3 or 4 beer vendor booths.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you using private security to do IDs, and is it wristbands? or
It's
how-
wristbands.
Okay.
So yes, we do check all IDs. Yep.
Excellent. And as the chairman pointed out, we've done this, you've appointed a special permit for years now.
Yeah.
We
Right.
haven't had any issues, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Any more questions?
No question. Pretty simple.
All right, ask the board for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve. A second?
We've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right. Thank you very much.
You can pick up your application tomorrow morning at 10
Okay.
in the lobby.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
So glad that's back. Me too.
All right. Do I have to call us back in a motion?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Call us back in order for the meeting. Got an application for La Tavola Restaurant. Is there someone here to represent?
Yes.
Okay, step to the podium. We'll recess for a public hearing. State your name for the record.
Javi Jabroff.
And are you the new owner of this establishment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, will you clear it up for me? Is it La Tavola?
It's La Tavola.
La Tavola, okay.
Yeah.
La Tavola.
So everybody's been saying it wrong all the years.
I have.
Me too.
Are you retaining a lot of the same staff that was there?
We currently just hired new staff.
New
but
staff.
Some of them old, some of them new. So.
Are you going to, of course, this is for beer, are you also going to serve wine and
Correct.
liquor? How are you training your staff?
They all go to ABC classes. Like 4 hours required by state. So and they present us when we hire them, or we send them to school ourselves. So.
Okay. Are you going to have any other additional managers, or is it just
No,
you two
so
owners?
far we got that. It's me and my brother. So.
Okay. Have you opened restaurants here locally before, or
No,
is this your
is the
first one?
time.
Okay. What's your policy on carding?
I mean, a restaurant, as soon as the server comes in, they'll ID as soon as you order a beer or any alcohol. We just made a general policy.
Good answer.
Everyone ID.
And so you've never had another establishment, another location? This is
No.
first time? Okay.
And you and your staff, you guys are aware of the penalties that would occur if any
Yes,
beer or
so
alcohol is
the-
sold to minors?
Right. Yeah, we consulted the previous owners. They said they're going to take care of all the
Okay.
issues.
Good deal.
Any more questions?
No.
All right, ask the board for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve?
A second?
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Pick up your application tomorrow. All right, call the meeting back into order. Number 3 for beer applications, El Pariente. Is there anybody here to represent?
I'm here on behalf of El Pariente. My name is Stephen Ammett, and I'm an attorney in Murfreesboro, and Mr. Hernandez is here as well, and he'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have. I prepared some remarks, but I don't know how, whatever the board would like to do. If you'd like to ask my client questions or me questions, it's fine.
We could interject, this does not meet the distance requirements, it's too close to a funeral home, so, I didn't know if y'all were aware of that. and that's
That was
probably
actually,
why-
I've got it circled on
That's
my,
probably why he's so prepared, so we wanted to, of course, that's not waivable by the board.
Right.
And I guess the question I had was on the ordinance, it said 300 feet, and then on the application, it says 500 feet, and that was one reason why my client wanted to reapply to get some clarification. Is it 300 or is it 500?
For off premises, it's 250, for on premises, it's 500.
Okay, what is the 300 then in the
Well, I
beer?
think that's the old footage, and the ordinance was amended to 500
Okay.
quite a while ago.
Well, I got this off the Town of Smyrna website today. Would you like to see a copy of it? Or
Well,
does it?
I trust you. I believe it's probably like that on the website, but that's not accurate. The
Okay.
ordinance, I've got the new ordinance on the books right here is 500.
500, okay.
Mhm.
And that was one reason why we came in today, was just for clarification. I would just point out that, it's across a 4-lane highway from Woodfin's, and the previous owner did sell beer there. I think it was some time ago, and I think it was called Beano's maybe. And that's really why we're here. My client does have a restaurant there, Mr. Hernandez. He sells Mexican food, but he's having a hard time making ends meet without being able to sell beer. As far as the footage, I can understand that. I would ask, has anybody actually, with 500 feet, I would probably agree, may not need measuring, but 300, I thought, or 250, it
Well, the
might.
measurements exactly are 197
Okay,
is the distance.
So it has
wouldn't
been
qualify
measured.
either way. Yeah, that's what the building official has certified. 191 from Woodfin Funeral Home.
okay.
So at this point,
Well, we won't tell you what to do, but we would recommend denial.
Okay.
Because it's just not waivable by the board.
okay. All right, ask the board for a motion.
I make a motion we deny, based on the footage from Woodfin Funeral Home to the building.
I'll second the motion, again, based upon the distance between the two dwellings being 191 feet and being short of the ordinance.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sorry about that, sir.
All right, thank you very
Welcome to the
much.
seat.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting back into order. Last item on the agenda tonight for an application is Ton 80's Dart Bar and Grill. Is there anybody here to represent? All right, step to the podium. We'll recess for a public hearing. Please state your name for the record.
Robbie McEwen.
And are you the owner of the,
I am, yes, sir.
and is this a new establishment, changing ownership of one?
Changed ownership, yes, sir.
If we may interject on this one as well, we had an issue in between the time the permit application was filed and the meeting the police had to go down there and stop them from selling beer on premises. It had already begun prior to their application being approved. We just advise you of that.
And could I comment on, am I allowed to comment on that? Yes, I came in on like Wednesday, we took over, I came in on like Tuesday, Wednesday prior to that, and I came in to find out about getting our business permit and get everything. And so then they left everything, so yes, we did have beer there that night, but we were not selling beer that night, we just had people come over. And then when they did come, you're exactly right, we closed just like we told them we would. Mistake was, we turned on a light, which we just locked the doors and left. We just had our friends come over and see our new place that we'd purchased. But I mean, like I said, no money, there was no money transpired, nothing, as far as I know, nothing was.
Yeah, and there have been no issues, and they were not cited as a result of that, but we just wanted to make the board aware of the issue.
And what was the duration of time that you purchased the business and the time of the incident?
4 days, 3 days, 4 days. I came in on like a Monday to find out about my business permit, and then she told me, I had 20 days, so I got the paperwork, got the paperwork and took everything, and that was like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that was Friday. So, we were cleaning up, kind of getting stuff ready. And like I said, there were things there that we did just say, hey, come out and check out our place. We didn't realize if we weren't physically selling it, that we couldn't do that. So, and then we closed down that day, and we didn't open back up. We have not opened up. We have our licensed, our restaurant license. We have that, so we could have opened up with the food side, but we just chose just to wait until everything was in place.
Have you ever run a bar before?
I did have one it's not Woodbury, it was Rutherford County, but it was at the edge of the county, way too far away from the house, so I had it for like 2 years, and then sold it, came back to town. So.
How many employees are you going to have?
Probably me and one more right now, to be honest, yeah. It'll be very, very short for a while.
What was the name of the previous location? Or previous bar?
Spuds and Suds. Spuds and Suds. It was Murfreesboro. I know it's weird. It's a very odd name for a bar, but it was
I
on
think he
Woodbury
means
Pike.
the previous
No, I'm talking
owner
about
of the
what
business.
was
Oh,
this
here, I'm
business?
sorry. Penny Lane. Penny Lane.
Okay,
Yes, sir. I apologize.
no worries. And I vaguely remember Spuds and Suds.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a while.
Vaguely remember.
What type of training, you said there would be one other person with you serving and working? What type of training are they going to have?
They are going to be, we're definitely 21 and up, definitely, because we allow smoking, so it's definitely
Okay.
21, no one allowed under 21. We will card everyone, period. And outside of, I'm sorry, I don't know what else outside of we'll always card and train. I guess they're going to train along with me as we get our feet wet.
So IDing everyone, even though it's a 21 and up establishment, you'll be IDing everyone.
Definitely,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
You gonna do that at the door, or are you gonna have?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually,
Are you gonna have an employee do that, or are you gonna hire private
well,
security? or-
probably, right now, I'll probably do it myself because the way it comes, it's kind of odd, I know, but as soon as you come in the door of the bar, the entrance to the bar is right there, and it's a long bar, so like you can catch everyone. I don't expect to be really busy for a while, and maybe that's a bad perception to start with, but, till we get going. So as that changes, then I will have someone at the door.
Okay.
I'm hoping to be really busy eventually, and they'll have someone at the door.
What hours are you gonna operate?
We'll open at noon and close probably midnight to 1 in that area. I'm gonna guess probably midnight to 1. It's definitely a dart bar, so sometimes we'll have some late draws for darts, that usually start, normally they're usually around 9 or 10 o'clock, so 12, 1 o'clock, but it's definitely all darts.
So that night that the town came by, so you weren't selling, you were just, basically, you were having friends
We did,
essentially
we
over,
did,
but
yes,
you turned
sir.
on the open sign?
We just turned on the lights, we didn't lock the
Okay.
door, but it was everybody that we just knew, and
Were they consuming on premises, but they just weren't paying for it?
yes,
or-
sir,
Okay.
yes, because we had, things that they had
Leftover
left,
inventory?
but they disappeared, they were gone that next morning, like, by 8 o'clock, there was nothing, and if you could go now, there's not a soul, there's nothing in that place, like, the next day, it was morning, it was all gone. So we did follow their, and they told us, no, you can't even do that. I said, okay, we're sorry, we didn't know that, so.
Counselor, do you know if there's anything pending with the town? Is law enforcement going to take any action against the establishment at this point?
I don't believe they were, but just to correct something, from our perspective at least, they were responding to a complaint that alcohol was or beer was being served out of there, and the complaint came into City Hall that day, and they went out there that evening and discovered the activity that was going on that evening. So there had been a complaint, I'm assuming from a previous date, that this was going on. So I don't know how that
And that, I
happened.
mean, I really, really don't know, because we did a lot of cleaning. I mean, we were there, we've been there, but we personally weren't, but I don't know. And I really don't know how to answer that, because, I mean, I just know what we did that night.
Here's a question for you. If we were to hypothetically make a motion to move this to next month's meeting, could we obtain actually the time of when the initial complaint came in versus when they made the call? Or would that have any bearing
Well,
on
if
this?
you'll give me a second, I could probably tell you right now, because I'm the one that referred the complaint to the police department. So let me
Okay.
see when I sent the email. The call came into here, and it
Okay.
was sent, I guess it started in Miss Diane's office, and then they forwarded it to me, and I forwarded it to the police department. So let me see if I can get a hold of when that was.
Well, excuse me, while he's looking up the date of the email, you said you owned another establishment prior to this that sold alcohol
Yes, ma'am.
and food?
Just beer, yes, ma'am.
Just, okay,
Beer and
so
food,
just beer.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're aware of, for lack of a better term, the rules and so forth of serving alcohol?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
even consuming on the premises with, if you don't have a license to do
Yes,
it yet? So
Yes.
you're aware of,
Very much so, yes. I mean, most definitely. Like I said, that's why, we've just been cleaning, and, I mean, did we maybe drink a beer while we were cleaning? Not me, I don't drink beer, but, maybe, but we never sold. Key is, we did not sell anything. That's,
I sent the email to the chief at 12:16 p.m. on February 8th, which was a Friday, and they went there that night and discovered the issue and addressed it with them. So the complaint had come from, I guess, the day before. They didn't give a date, did they, when they called your office? But they said beer was being consumed there on the premises.
So the complaint could have come that morning, or it could have been from the previous day, or,
Apparently, this was in reference to something somebody observed or what, I don't know what, but it had been observed. They referred the complaint to the city, and then we sent it to the chief, and they went out there that very night and discovered the situation. So I don't know anything beyond that. We get a lot of anonymous calls around here, so we just have to deal with them as they come.
come. Did you ever have any issues with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department at Spuds and Suds?
oh, no, sir.
No.
No. I mean, let me rephrase that. We got broken into twice, so
But it was nothing,
Oh, no,
nothing
sir.
sales related
Oh, no,
or
sir.
or bust related? or
definitely
anything like
not.
that?
No, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions, guys?
no more questions from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I ask the board for a motion.
Are we making a motion to approve or deny today, or are we going to table this for our next meeting? I think that was the last
We got the
question.
information that we wanted if we were gonna table it, so we don't really have to table it.
Okay.
I mean, you could make a motion if you wanted to, we just have to consider it.
yeah.
And I passed that information on to you not to get you to do anything in particular. We don't have a position on whether or not you grant or deny it, but we feel like you should have been made aware of that, so we're making you aware of it.
Absolutely.
And I know, speaking for myself, I truly appreciate that. I am going to make a motion to approve, but I'm also going to add a caveat on there that based upon this situation, if you ever come before the board again, my feelings are going to be a little tainted. I don't know
Totally
if I'm supposed to say
understand.
that or not, Nathan, but
You did, so.
you know, so, again, I'm gonna make a motion to approve, but, please take a moment, go back through our ordinance, make sure you are familiar with every aspect of it.
Yes, sir.
To make sure that you're in compliance with it, please.
I'll second.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll call us back into order and open up the floor to any other new business. All right, reports of officers, committees, or staff.
I have nothing.
The next meeting we'll set for April the 8th, I believe, is the next Monday.
April 1st.
Is it really? Okay, well,
We're not gonna be
Oh,
on
is
that a
break or
joke?
anything like weird like that, are
No, we'll just be back from spring break.
we? Okay.
It's the last
so
week of March.
April 1st, then it'll be the next day, okay.
He was trying to get a week off.
All right, with that being said, ask the board for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
A second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Good evening.